Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? A gracious good morning to you good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It is Monday morning, July 6th, and it is 3:42 in the a.m. And yes, and yes, and yes, I am back with the date that brought me. I am in my environment. And I'm returning to some technical difficulties, but I'll get to that when I get to that. I wanted to hurry up and put this video out here before I forget. You know, when you see and hear me talk about racism and racist practices, you will hear me point out the hypocrisy in the powers that be who benefit from, who highlight a biased opinion. You know, I just want to make us aware of what's being said and what's being done. You know, no hate unless I tell you it's hate. And I can take ownership of that. I can take ownership of a lot of things. One of them is my own bias. You will hear me talk about, you know, what I present and how I present. That being said, I want to talk about something I had a conversation with my sister about the other day. I was sharing that I follow this particular individual on TikTok, and I follow them because they bring a lot of the same material that I bring to the table. But I noticed that there was a level of militancy that was beginning to show and venom. And I want to say straight out hate. You know, when I talk about hate, you know, I use that term, I want to say in the context that kids use it, in that, you know, it upsets me, I dislike it, I'm going to call it out. See, kids will call you a hater for calling out their poor behavior. And that's the context that I used hate in. I don't hate anybody. You know, when you hate people, you just open your soul up to all kinds of just nastiness. I want to say that. It's like walking around with an open wound, you know, and exposing that wound to infectious disease, if you will, you know, kind of visualize that. So I don't hate anybody, but I will call crap out. Okay, so I want to clarify that. But this particular individual was getting more and more militant in their speech. I mean, to the point of they were starting to sound like Stokely in his early years, or H-Rap. I mean, it was some ugly stuff. And I was like, wow. You know, then, as opposed to, you know, addressing a particular individual that left a hateful comment in their comment section, instead of addressing that individual, this person, in essence, docks the individual. Now, you could have just left the hate where it was because you already knew there was hate in the comment. So you didn't have to, you know, kind of pour gas on the fire. But this person did. And I want to say got seriously scorched by the whoosh when they poured gas on the fire. Now, they're crying foul because they got burnt. Baby, you can't have it both ways. And that's hypocrisy in and of itself. You can't have it both ways. You can't dox an individual because you didn't like their comment, or you felt their comment was racist. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I'm going to say it has some bias in it. But rather than presenting, you want to throw down and then get mad because the person had hands. Now, the same thing that you attempted to do is being used on you, and you didn't like it. That goes with that meme. Apparently, when you treat people like they treat you, they get upset. You should have thought about that. Should have thought about that. The same weapons that you use, people have access to as well. And see, we get vested in these folks' lives like we somehow know them because they're on the platform. And they're drinking the Kool-Aid. I don't see. Yeah, here I am again calling stuff out. You can't have things both ways. If you expect to throw punches, if you will, and I'm talking about verbal, I'm not talking about physical, but if you do this, you can expect the same thing back. We have this lovely button in this format: block, delete. It's your page. Nobody has to be privy to the hate that you receive, because everybody is not well, and everybody is not, I want to say, actively engaged in critical thinking. How about that? Can we acknowledge that? And can we be a little bit more circumspect in how we present and how we deal?